Okay, one of the most common support topics I get is clients asking me to help with their reconciliations when there's been an error made or they're unsure. So I thought it would be a good idea to make a quick video explaining how to do the reconciliations. Now, stay tuned till the end. There is a part that I also discuss if you're on the reduced version of the Xero subscription, which is the Ignite plan. There is a workaround those 5 bill limitations that it has. All right, let's get started. So, as always, we start with the home. This is always your landing page. You'll see your bank accounts listed. If you see reconcile items, that means you've got reconciliations to do. If you see this bank account, there's no reconcile items, so it means all your reconciliations are up to date. We start off with clicking reconcile items. All right. At the top, you will see there are 4 tabs. Those of you that are familiar with cash coding, you can use it, but I don't recommend it. This is just a quick way and more what the accountants use to reconcile the stuff. Always go to your reconcile tab and rather reconcile from that tab. On the left hand side, you have the transactions as it appears on your bank account. On the right hand side, you have whatever is within Xero. If we receive a payment from a customer, what do? The AI within Xero is very powerful and it will do its very best to suggest the best matching that it can find. Now, when you find a match and it's happy for you to match that, there's an OK option. But oftentimes what happens and where things go wrong is we click OK without doing a check initially. So my check that I do when I run through this is I have a look at the date of the transaction when it came through on the bank. I have a look at the date of the invoice and I think about, is this more or less the date I was expecting the client to pay the specific invoice, invoice 35. The next thing I check is to see that the payee, being Ridgeway University in this case, is similar to the name on the invoice being paid. Another thing that I suggest you talk to your clients or even put onto your invoicing is the reference that they use should always be the invoice number. The reason for that is Xero can then get an accurate linkage to the correct invoice using that. All right, so in this case we can see we have a 3 out of 3 match. I'm comfortable to say the amounts are the same. This is probably an accurate match. Now, in this case, I'm not just going to click OK. I'm going to go as if I was unsure whether this is the correct match. So what I want to do if I'm unsure is I'm going to go and click find and match. I'm going to go and have a look for Ridgeway as the client and I'm going to do a search. In this case, I can see there's only one invoice that comes up for Ridgeway and the amounts are the same, the invoice numbers are the same. So in this case, I'm going to say, okay, I'm happy and I'm going to click reconcile. Let's take Jacaranda Maple Systems as an example. Over here, we can see that there is no suggested match. So we're going to go to find and match. We're going to do our level best to figure out who that belongs to, because now they've just gone and put in deposit in advance. So let's start off typing in the name. And we see immediately we're not getting anything. So there's absolutely nothing on this one that allows us to figure out who it is. I'm going to simply clear the search, and I'm going to search through my list of outstanding invoices to be paid. Now, having a look at this, for some reason, I suspect that this payment is for Boom FM, which is a prepayment. So what are we going to do now? We are going to tick Boom FM. We're going to scroll down to click reconcile, but we're going to see we have a problem. There's a $2,000 payment that came in, but we've only reconciled $1,623. So what do we do? In this case, we're going to create a overpayment or a prepayment option. So have we received money? Yes. We are going to type in the client's name. Oftentimes I just rather copy and paste it. Now we can see it's a new client. So I'm just going to create a new client. It oftentimes won't be the case because you would have sent the client some sort of communication, so they should be listed over here. All right, the next part I want to do is I want to select this as an overpayment. So they've overpaid their account. The date should be the date of the transaction. And then I can put whatever description I want in there. In this case, I'm going to leave it deposit in advance. And I'm going to click save. Now we have $2,000 matched, and we click reconcile. All right, let's have a look. As we scroll down further, we see there are some interesting ones that are not quite matching up. I am looking for a specific one. Let's take city limousines. In this case, we are going to click find and match. We're going to type in city limousines, and we can see all the outstanding invoices that need to be paid. Now, generally, the client would send you a heads up on what they have paid. If they haven't, I always take the oldest invoice and I start off with that one. In this case, we can see they have put some sort of reference in there of 17, which ties up to the invoice number 17. So we're going to click that and say, okay. But now we have a problem. We have an opposite to the previous one. We have a total of only $100 paid, but the invoice is $250. So we're out by $150. So in this case, we're going to click this neat little blue highlighted part over there, and we're going to say it's a part payment of $100. We're going to click split, and now we've only paid partial part of the invoice. All right, that is the most common issues that we are going to have with reconciling, and that's as simple as what it is. A lot of people go to sales and then to invoices. I'll do this, bear with me. Awaiting payments, because if you are one of them that do this, you'll understand what I'm doing here. And then you add in payment details. I don't like this part because it can double up. So for that reason, I don't do this part and I go straight to the original way that we did the invoicing. All right. Now, how do we reconcile payments? Starting at home, Please excuse me, I am a little bit sick, so the brain is slow and the throat is horrible, but I'm doing my best. Okay, so we go to reconcile again. In this case, we can see there's an accurate match already. Again, looking at the dates, we can see the dates are what I would expect. We can see the supplier name is correct. We can see the amount is correct. So we are fairly happy to proceed with this one. And we click OK. The next one is Smart Agency. Now, we can't find any match over there. So we're going to do a search. Funny enough, there's an expense claim from me. And now we can see we have 2 invoices. So we're going to click them both because we've got a $4,500 payment and we have $2,000 over there. So we've definitely, and you making the payment would know what you've been paying. So we are happy to reconcile those. Now, let's take Cooper Street Bakery. You have 2 options here. You can go and raise a bill for this one if you wanted to, or dealing now with the limitations of the 5 bills. If you're on the Ignite plan, this will also work for you. You are welcome to go and attach the bill while reconciling over here. So what do? The question is, who are we paying? We are paying Cooper Street Bakery. What did we do there? Most likely entertainment. We met a client for coffee. This is where I ask you to just insert a little bit of detail. It's for you as well, just to remember what you were doing there, but it's also for me because then I can have a look and see in a snapshot of what you were actually doing there. So let's say client coffee production. All right. The next part, most of you won't have any tracking, so you can ignore that part. The next part would be GST. How do we know what GST to select? Very simply, look at the receipt or look at the invoice that you've received when making the payment. If there is GST applicable, it will be 15% on GST. If you see nothing to do with GST or 15% or tax on payment, then select no GST. In this case, my receipt says there is GST, so I'm going to select it. Now, what I want to do is I want to attach this receipt that I took a photo of. I want to attach to this transaction. So I'm going to click Add Detail. I'm going to click this little icon over here, and then I'm going to upload the file. Now, on my side, I will have a little folder where I store all my receipts throughout the week, and then every Friday when I'm doing a little bit of admin, I then do my reconciliations and upload the file from that little folder that I hold on my computer. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Once that is done, we then say Save Transaction, and we're ready to reconcile, and it's all done. So, to recap with reconciling payments, you have 2 options. You can either raise a bill, which is separate videos to that, and then link this payment to that bill, or if you don't raise the bill and you're trying to not hit the limitation of the 5 bills on the Ignite plan, then simply go and add the bill from this side. ACL conference was training. Okay. anything to do with that. So let's have a look for the most likely option. In this case, I don't really have an option close to training. So I'm going to chuck it to general expense. I don't really like general expense because it's, as the name explains, too general. So try stay away from general expense. But if you really have nothing you can allocate it to, then just pop it through to here. What training did you do? Anything like that would work. Did you have GST on the invoice after you paid it? Yes. Add the details, upload the file, and you're good to go. I hope that helped. If you have any concerns or any confusion, please just reach out and we'll get that fixed.